Have you ever considered what the word belief means? How many beliefs do you have? How many things do you believe in? Think about it for just a second. I'll wait. You got a bunch, don't you? The word belief means that you don't know, but you're convinced regardless of the evidence or the lack of evidence. You don't know, but you're convinced anyway. And if you really think about it, you don't have a single belief that hasn't been suggested to you. Every belief that you have, you've heard from somewhere, and it sounded good. It felt good, so you bought it without ever testing it. There's been a bunch of smart people throughout history that have all said that you should put your beliefs to the test. Test them so that you don't have to believe it anymore. If you test your beliefs to see if they're true or false, then if you prove your belief to be true, it's no longer a belief, it's a fact. And if you prove your belief to be false, then you can stop believing in it. Like Santa Claus. The biggest belief that most people have, the one that they will fight, kill, and die for, is their belief in God. Probably 3/4 of the planet, 6 out of 8 billion people, believe in God or a God or gods. They've never met one. They've never seen one. They've just heard about them in books, through their parents, preachers, teachers, government officials. And there's no proof. No one can prove it. No one can produce one. But we still believe. Without question. And we will fight, kill, and die over that belief. We've been doing it for thousands of years. And remember, the word belief means you do not know. It's a belief, like a hypothesis. And in science, a hypothesis has to be tested. We don't build laws of nature based on hypotheses. They have to be repeatedly proven before they become fact. Living based on things you don't know, can that be healthy? Just living out your beliefs, whatever they are, because they sound good or feel good? Well, let me explain to you how I know that you don't need a teacher to tell you about God. You don't need a preacher to tell you about God. You don't need books to tell you about God. Did anyone teach you how to turn bananas and beans into muscle, bone, nerves? No. But you've been doing it since you were in the womb, and no one taught you how to do it. Did you have to be taught how to grow your hair, your fingernails, how to make your hair blonde or brown or black, your eyes blue or brown, whatever? No one had to teach you that. You do it every day. You're growing it every day. You've been doing it since you were in the womb. No one had to teach you how to do it. Did anyone teach you how to breathe? How to take oxygen in from the environment and transfer it throughout your body into all of its cells? No. But since the day you came out and the doctor spanked you on the bottom, you've been doing it. The most important things in life, no one has to teach you. No one can teach you how to beat your heart. Even though a cardiologist may be able to explain how a person beats their heart somewhat, they can't do it any better than you can. You're an expert at it, and no one taught you how to do it. No one can teach you how to do it. To teach someone how to beat a heart would require an entire library of encyclopedias. And you'd get lost trying to do it. It goes the same way for everything in life. You don't need to be taught. Everyone that's trying to teach you something has got a motive behind it. You know, Jesus said, and this is coming from a book, but Jesus said the kingdom of God is nowhere you can go. It's not some place that is out there somewhere. Jesus said the kingdom of God is right here inside of all of us. The Buddha, the original Buddha, Gautama Buddha, said that you are your master. You're your only master. There's no one to pray to. There's nothing to pray to. If prayer worked, we'd all be super rich and healthy and live forever. Prayers don't work. But the hard things like that, no one promotes. You know, when Jesus in John chapter 10 says that we are gods, no one repeats that. And they make excuses for why he said it and come up with, they want to speak for Jesus and say what he really meant. Because they've got a motive. Could you imagine how many people would be out of a job if you could know everything on your own? They don't want you to believe, they don't want you to know that you can do that. They want you to believe that you need teachers and guidance and all of that. When this, nature, is our guide. Every day it's showing us how it really works. And that's why the Buddha had to leave all his teachings, had to leave his teachers, had to leave all of the rituals and traditions and everything that he was taught to enlighten himself. He had to go off into the wilderness by himself and figure it out. You know who else did that? Jesus did that. Jesus went out into the wilderness by himself for 40 days and 40 nights to face his demons, to face all of his learned teachings, learned knowledge. You got to leave all of that behind. Put it away and listen to nature. The Tao Te Ching, we have a written record of it from about 500 BC. Now, this is not saying that the knowledge of the Tao Te Ching came about in 500 BC. We don't have hardly any writings before that. So people just assume that that knowledge came about around that time, but knowledge was passed down without writing for thousands of years before that, and there may have been knowledge passed down in writing before that, and those writings have been destroyed, like the library at Alexandria and others. We have to understand that our beliefs prohibit us from understanding anything deeper than those. And our beliefs come from what we've learned through books, teachers, our parents, priests, the church, governments. How much of our knowledge comes from Mother Nature? The Tao Te Ching says in one of its paragraphs, there's 81 of them, this ancient knowledge says that there's 4 great things. It says the Tao is great. And the Tao means nature, or the way of nature, how nature works. The Tao is great. The universe is great. The earth is great. And man is great. Those are the 4 great things that exist. It says man follows the earth follows the universe follows the Tao, the way of nature, and the Tao follows only itself. I'm talking about all of this because I really care about all of you, the whole world. And the world needs some guidance other than man. The only teacher we have is nature, the earth. We come from it, we depend on it. It is us. When you breathe out, the trees are breathing in. When the trees breathe out, you can breathe in. The earth produces food, and we give our bodies back to the earth when we're done. It is our guide. It is our only true guide. It holds the truth. Man has a bad habit of distorting the truth for their own benefit. So my advice to everyone is do what Jesus did, do what the Buddha did. Go out into the wilderness alone and be quiet and listen. Don't talk, just listen. All kinds of things are going to come up in your mind, and just let them come and go. Stop thinking. Your thinking comes from your knowledge, what's been stored in your brain, and it's limited to what you have learned from men. So don't count on that. Leave it alone. Leave it behind, like Jesus did. like the Buddha did. If you do that, if you learn to get in tune with nature, no man can fool you. My grandpa told me didn't tell me, he told my dad. And my dad told me when I was little that my grandpa used to say that people were losing touch with their spirituality. Spirituality has nothing to do with God. The ancient knowledge says that nature is our guide. The earth is our guide. That's spirituality, being in connection with nature. Spirituality is not religion. Religion is not spirituality. I hope y'all take this serious. The whole earth will transform if you all do this. We focus on taking care of nature like nature takes care of us, and the whole earth will prosper. I love you.